so we've got our 3D printed seat prototype. Truth be told, this is the third version of this seat that I've already done, just because it's so tricky to get one of these right. But it's done in 4 sections. This is 1, and then we got 2. Each one of these prints is about 50 hours, and most of them are around, I'd say 4 or 5 pounds. Actually, maybe a bit more. Like this guy is meaty. He's probably 6 pounds. But still, when you think about it, for a prototype seat, 20, 24 pounds isn't bad at all for testing things. It's about the weight of actually like a normal seat without power in it. So these guys, this guy's pretty tall. I just wanted to print him at once. Since we have 4 machines, just do 4 at a time. And so the reason why I wanted to print a seat is because on these factory 5s, particularly these roadsters, they're built like in the theory of a Cobra, classic Cobra, and those cars had just no leg room. I'm not particularly tall, but if you are tall, they're really hard to get into. But what I wanted to do was have a classic seat. The Cobras didn't come with seats like this, which are cool. I like the Corbeau brand, but the thing with these seats is that they're really tight inside here. You barely have any leg room. So I wanted to make a seat that held you well in the car, but that would have more room around. So the idea with these seats, or with this seat, is that eventually it's going to be carbon fiber, but we're printing it out of ABS right now, just so we can stick it in the car, bolt it together, and kind of get a look and feel of it and see how it's going to work. The other thing was, I don't know why this happened, the trend in seats, they got these big side bolsters. Like, we're not all racers, I'm not racing when I go to the grocery store. So I don't think I need these side bolsters. If you look at some of the most expensive seats you can get are these old Recaro vintage seats, and they didn't have these crazy side bolsters, these things, shoulder bolster things on them. So the seat I'm designing is more like a classic, like Recaro style, where you have the side bolsters, but you can actually, move your shoulders and stuff like that. Like if you need to put your arm out the window to get some at the drive-through, etc., etc. Anyway, the next version I'm going to make too has space under the seat for PCM for the car, which is pretty sweet. This one though, we're going to put together and we're going to see how it fits in the car. Hopefully to be the first kind of driving, working prototype version. So we have the 4 pieces there for the seat. It's actually a standard size seat, split up into 4 parts. Each part takes about 2 days or so, 5-6 pounds, some of them. And then we're going to bolt them all together to get one prototype seat. So over here, the way I do this, the way I did actually the dash in the car, you can see actually a version of the dash right here. Speaker holes, center console type thing. It's even got defrost holes in it. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. The way I did the dash was I had these threaded rods through the ABS. And this is how we're actually going to do the car seat. We're going to put the car seat together like this, because these threaded rods give you a lot of strength. And it's enough to drive the car around. I mean, we're not going to go racing with the plastic seat, but we are going to be able to drive it and test it and see how it feels. And minute differences can change. I'm going to put a hump in the center of the seat, a hump in the back. This seat has a lot of little details that you can't just see from here. It's got a little concave portion of it. This guy right here is to sit up against the bulkhead so it doesn't flex when you sit in the seat. So anyway, what I'm going to do right now is start to fit these threaded rods in here. And the first thing I'm gonna do actually is there are about 8.5mm holes in here, and I'm gonna drill them out with my 8mm drill bit, peel away some of this brim here, which helps keeps the part down when you're printing it. So one of the easiest way to knock these brim marks off the seats, and to just, aside from pulling them off, is to get the seats ready to kind of go together so you don't have any rough edges. It's just hit them with some 40 grit. This is ABS. So just hit it with 40 grit. You can see the parts are damn flat with that brim. And these are big. I mean, this footprint on this is 2 feet. Anyway, we're not entering a show, but we're trying to get things to fit. And hopefully with this set, drive the car. It should be crazy to drive a 3D printed seat, kind of contoured to just my style. I'm super pumped about that. Yeah, that'll work. I'm gonna do this to all of them, and then we're gonna get our drill bit, and then we're gonna drill out the 8mm holes so that we can slide the rods through. All right, so we got the seats parts here, and we've got these holes that actually they're pretty dang good, but I'm gonna hit them, pardon me, 8mm bit, just to clean them out so the rods go through there nice and smooth. This thing is gold. Anyway, this is the way I make all these kind of large 3D parts, is bolt them together. Especially if I'm not going to use like epoxy. This stuff works really well. And the next part is going to be actually fitting the rods to the seat. So I want to keep the rods always the same size for the seats, but this seat is kind of a new design and I didn't know exactly how it's going to work. Oh, those holes are a little bit bigger because that's how we're going to mount the seat to the floor. I forgot. Alright, one last one. So this is like the process to build all these big 3D parts. It's just like this. Print it, drill the holes, trim the edges, then you fit the fastening hardware in there. So we'll do that right now. Alright, so this is the super cool part. This is where we actually put the seat together. And let's start with the bottom here. I think this will be the easiest. Get this stuff off of here. Yeah, check that out. Oh, I want to sand this real quick. I want us to feel that against the wall. I love ABS. I love ABS because I swear you can work it. You can work this stuff a lot like wood. You can paint it like wood, sand it like wood, fill it. It's so easy to work with. A lot of people don't like it because it doesn't print well in their printers, and that's because they don't have a heated chamber. You cannot print large ABS parts without a heated chamber. Try doing that I've been doing that for 13 years or something like that. I know. Trust me. You can't print big ABS parts without a heated chamber. Frankly, you probably shouldn't be printing any ABS parts without a chamber because you want the heat uniform so that the layer to layer bond is uniform. So there's a difference between printing something and then like making something. Okay, so got this. Trying to get a feel for this. Oh man, this is gonna be sweet. Like those old Recaros from those old 911s. Love the way those feel. My dad had one of those old 911s with those big, thick Recaros. Car really never ran because it had a magnesium case. It leaked more oil than it retained. But those seats were amazing. And so was the Alpine stereo. Coincidentally, I have an Alpine stereo for this car too. So, okay, check that out. So these little rods that we're going to do is we're going to trim these bad boys. Nothing wrong with 911s. Had one myself. Beguiling, as my uncle would say. Okay. But we're going American with this car. Alright. Good old V8. So, what I'm going to do is mark these ends with a marker. Alright, so we're going to mark right here where we want the ends of these shafts. Okay. We get ready to cut those. Actually, I'm going to do them first just so I have like a piece to bolt the rest of the pieces onto. So do that right now. So yeah, I should really be wearing my gloves. But I'm just kind of hauling ass right now. Alright, let's see what we got. So we got these rods and they're in here. What we're going to do is take my favorite tool in the world. That is angle grinder with our cutting disc on it, or cut off wheel. And I use this thing probably almost every day the last several years, just because it's the most useful tool in the history of the world. Alright. I should do that. I got the glasses on, but not the gloves. Apologize to my 5th grade shop teacher, Mr. Beck. Next time. Alright. Let's get these guys on here. There we go. Where's the other one that I threw on the ground? There we go. Alright. So, just double checking here. Making sure everything fits. Even though you clean them up, sometimes they just don't want to go. It's never as easy as it looks. It's usually just a burr. Alright. Let's get these guys on here. Here we go. Alright, so let's bolt this guy together. I'm just going to hold the socket right over here and then tighten right here. Okay. Looking good. Turn this guy up. Just hold this on here so it kind of, yeah, you can get a crap ton of torque on these things when you print these big plastic pieces. I used a 0.8 nozzle and heated chamber on this, and man, these parts are so strong. Alright, certainly like plenty to sit and drive the car around. I don't know if you want to be like rolling the car over, but they're pretty good. Okay, so for this other one, okay, this is the top. I'm just gonna like take this crap off here. This is just from an overhang, trying to print on a big ass overhang, and it's just a lot more economical not to print all that support material out, particularly on something you don't really care about, which is like on the back here. All right. Now let's see. We got lucky and get a piece that's about the same, the correct height. Probably, and I probably cut the good one. Dumb. Anyway, here we go. Let's see how this goes. These rods are 5/16. I'm using those instead of metric, just because, like, if you go to Ace Hardware, good luck finding metric. You know, rods, they don't really exist. So the 5/16 is very close in size, and they work just as well. All right, so I've got that one, and I think I'm going to measure this first, cut it, and then I'll do the same for the other, just so I don't have to go through the really awkward demo of fitting a super huge rod. Okay. Check that out. Oh, can you say mid-80s Recaro? Like one piece. Dang, I love those seats. Anyway, it's not a copy of Recaro, obviously. I don't even have a Recaro, but it's such a cool seat. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Really? That perfectly? You know it. at that. There is our 3D printed seat in all of its splendor. Actually, it looks pretty cool. So it's like 2 days and you got yourself a seat. You can sit in. Hopefully next phase we'll mount it in the car. All right, we have our test subject here. The whole idea is, yeah, you're supposed to be in there, snug.
Actually,
I like that. Actually, you did something decent. Actually.
No, it's actually comfortable.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
I
cool.
can sit in it for an extended period of time.
Isn't that amazing? There's no padding. The trick is to conform it to your body. So there's these guys in England at Tillet who make incredible seats. Well, the reason why I'm making my own seat is because I'm not paying $2,000 a seat. And why not? So we've got the hexes in here to hold the bolts. And we'll put the seat in and see how it fits. So I actually have hexes built into here to hold bolts. And I forgot, as part of my master plan, this back of the seat doesn't go on until the base is bolted in. So I'll take the top off real quick and then hopefully these holes line up. If not, we'll change them for the next rev so that they perfectly line up on the floor.